Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Jeremy Dewitte Show right here on YouTube with PoliceTube's uncle. I want to make this video today about Jeremy Dewitte, the serial police impersonator, you know who I'm talking about, and his girlfriend Jennifer, who he claims to love, and she claims to love him. As with his most recent jail calls that we're listening to, all the jail calls really, we see that him and Jennifer are really close, and he really feels like Jennifer is doing him a service. But it's weird because I don't know if he really knows what Jennifer is doing on the outside, which is why I want to play this video, because when he was recently in jail a couple years ago, he got out and he didn't tell Jennifer, and she got very upset. And so she went down to the police station and made a bunch of reports on him. And that's what we're going to watch right here. As we've heard in some of these most recent jail calls, or at least I've heard, maybe they haven't even been published yet, Jennifer is very jealous, and she wants to know from Jeremy, who else have you been calling today? You haven't been calling your mother, have you, first? And you haven't been calling your wife first, did you? You called me first. She wants to be the only person Jeremy Dewitte calls. In fact, she's mad at Jeremy when he does spend any time talking to his wife or his mother. Jennifer just says, leave those people out of this. She's very jealous. And when Jeremy didn't call her that day when he got out of jail, she literally went down to the police department and made reports on him, which got him more criminal charges. So that's what I want to highlight today with this video. I appreciate you watching the channel. I really do. As you're watching this, feel free to leave comments down below and let me know what you're thinking. And if you see anything interesting here, we're going to go ahead and get on this, and appreciate your time. Thanks.
Now, how did you get this wonderful vehicle to drive around?
Romeo 58.
15 game time.
I'm Officer Tuck.
Officer Manzer.
You are?
Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
And Laura.
I did. I got my car running.
Laura, showing 1070 1801.
You can sit right here.
253 same traffic.
1801.
He's just gonna sit in the.
Are you recording this?
No, look. The reason I had him here is because you guys have made allegations that I've masturbated with that blue bacon guy, and that I was fired from the sheriff's office. And so I just want to have a witness here, so that later, if you decide to make more accusations, that there's a witness.
This is a great start.
No, I'm just being honest with you. Okay, so how can I help you?
I think he was just joking.
Who's that?
Jeremy, when he said those things, I don't think he was sincere.
Sheriff,
Well, he said I was run off from the sheriff's office.
1806.
I was taking pictures of his ass of his job. Well, I mean, look, it is what it is.
Sure.
I just don't. If there's a witness here,
There's safety for everybody.
right.
That's all. I'm not here to do anything, but I'm his witness. That's all I am.
Interfere or anything like that. But anyway, I can help you out. I'll help.
Dispatch 254, same traffic.
Okay, well, first I want to apologize for that.
No problem.
251, 10 7 check.
That's very nice things to say. So I want to apologize for that.
1806.
This is nice. And I apologize for not listening to you,
Okay.
because you were right.
About?
About Jeremy.
Oh, what about him using you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I figured at some point that would become obvious. Apparently it has. That's my phone. I think somebody's. That's probably either my email or my text
Yeah.
message. Make sure it's
I
not.
feel like I've seen you before, but I just don't know where.
10-4.
I never got in trouble.
So how did you figure that out?
Well, when he didn't file for divorce when he got out.
Right.
1803.
I understand like the pre-trial release situation.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know at the time. I didn't even know he was released. I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, And at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I got like 3 calls like back to back to back from the jail. And we always said when he was released, I would pick him up. So I assumed it was him. I called back. They said, yeah, he just been released. I went up there. He wasn't there. And then, I don't know, I tried to figure out where he was. Long story short. And it was like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was going to be he and I.
Right. Well, no, and I know that because, I mean, I've listened to most of the jail calls, and so I listened to, you know, when you, I mean, I listened to when you told him about the baby, and he told you that he wanted you to get an abortion, and in fact, I mean, he constantly hounded you about getting an abortion. I mean, I heard him tell you that, you know, that his wife had 2 abortions, and
I know.
I mean, you don't really believe any of that, do you? I mean, his wife had 2 abortions while he was off fighting terrorism or whatever the hell it was he said. You know that's all bullshit, right? I mean, you're aware
He
that's
said
not
when
true.
he was away.
Well, no, he said he was in the Middle East and he could die or something, yeah. So, so.
I know he wasn't in the military. His family told me.
Right, and I seriously doubt his wife had 2 abortions. I don't know her, but she seems like a very nice lady. And
She's not.
well, I don't know. I mean, what I know about her, I know from essentially listening to the jail calls between the 2 of them. What I know about his mother, I know, you know, by listening to the jail calls between he and his mother. I've never met her, and I've never met his wife. So, and so, but look, I mean, I really knew at the time, you know, when I was listening to those phone calls when he was telling you that he loved you and that he was going to, you know, if you have the abortion now, we'll have another baby later. I didn't know at the time. It was all bullshit. I mean, because I was listening to him talk to his mother and then telling his mother, essentially, he needed you to get a hold of Michelle Latham and drop the case. I mean, you remember those conversations where he told you, he was constantly on you telling you, get a hold of Michelle Latham and drop the case.
Sure.
Right. And then, you know, he needed you to go down to professional standards at the sheriff's office. And he essentially said that to his mother. I need her to say certain things in court, and I need her to say certain things to Internal Affairs. And as soon as I'm done with her, I'll run her off. I mean, he told his mother that. He loves his wife, and he's just using you. I mean, and so, you know, I feel bad for you, but I mean, that's essentially what was going on there. But I'm not sure how I can help you with that.
You can't help me with that. What are you all allowed to investigate? Because I was told you weren't allowed to investigate anything having to do with him now.
Who told you that?
Jeremy says there's like some, Ramsey was on the stand and said that Orange County Sheriff's Office can't bother Metro State anymore.
Well, my understanding is that you know, that, yes, I think there's been some direction over there that they're not to bother him. That's at least my understanding. They're not to, I think, you know, but understand other agencies I don't think have been given that type of direction. And I don't know, and I honestly don't know, I really can't tell you what direction the sheriff's office has been given. You know, but obviously if a crime's occurred, it needs to be investigated.
Well, I mean, I don't know, sorry, I don't know if you talked to Lynn Court from Osceola.
Okay.
Sex offender, and have to talk to Lynn Court. Anyway, so, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart because I care about the community. I'm pissed off.
I get that.
So, I gave him information about just registration things that were not registered properly. And you know, there's like this fine line because I don't want to get myself in trouble. And I feel like with Jeremy, I've always been like this close to getting in trouble. But go ahead.
Listen, we've all, I mean, I'd never heard the name Jeremy Dewitte until we arrested him in 2019. I never really worked traffic cases when I was at the sheriff's office. I spent my last part of my career up on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, so I really wasn't even at the sheriff's office for the latter part of my career. I was maybe at the building once a month at that. The rest of the time I reported to work at the FBI office up in Maitland. So but when a lot of that stuff was going on, I wasn't even around. I mean, back when they first started investigating him and they were told to stand down, I wasn't around for any of that, okay? I got involved in this. The only reason I ever got involved in this case was because after the officers arrested him, he and Amir Ladon came in. That's an ice machine. It makes ice. When he and Ladon, they came in and filed a complaint. I'm the only detective here, so I was assigned to follow up the complaint. And quite honestly, I kept the complaint open for a very long time because Amir Ladon repeatedly said that he had video evidence of officers involved in misconduct. Had he not said that, we probably would have closed that thing back in 2019 because when I went to investigate the things that Jeremy said, then that a lot of what he said, that Sergeant DeStefano was fired from the sheriff's office, and he said that he was a quitter, get fired. All these, and that he filed complaints on DeStefano with internal affairs. All that was pretty easy to check. I mean, it took me, probably less than a week to reach out over there and determine every bit of that was untrue. But Amir Ladon, he's a lawyer, he's an officer of the court. He claimed to have video evidence of police officers engaged in misconduct, so I kept the complaint open. And in fact, I didn't close that complaint until when I spoke with him down in at the courthouse in Osceola County. It was the last time I asked him about it. I said, Mr. Ron, you claimed that you had this video evidence, and he again said that yes, he had video evidence, that he had this thumb drive that Jeremy gave him of the officers engaged in misconduct, but he still hasn't given it to me. It's 2021. So when I came back and I explained to the chief, the police chief here that I'd spoken to him down there, and he still didn't turn over this evidence, the chief said, close it. So I closed it.
Right.
But I wouldn't even be involved in it really if it wasn't for that. So.
I mean, there are videos I want to give to you.
Okay. Videos of what?
Jeremy. There are a lot of videos, but I guess the most recent ones are from like January, February of this year, obviously, of Jeremy doing the same thing.
Like pulling people over and stuff like that?
I think he saw some people over and then using sirens and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, where is this occurring?
On escorts, but obviously it's
But where,
Orange,
I mean,
Orange County, and I think we were headed into Seminole.
Okay.
But I would have to look at all of it.
Sure, I mean, I'll certainly take it, and I can turn it over to the agencies. I'm not sure how much, I don't know whether Orange County will investigate or not. You might want to try the Florida Highway Patrol. I think if you have video of him committing crimes in Osceola, I believe they would investigate it. If you have video of evidence of him committing crimes in Orange County, you may want to consider taking it to the Highway Patrol. I can reach out to somebody over there and find out if they're interested. But I mean, unless it occurred in Windermere, we would investigate it.
What about Seminole County?
I would imagine they would investigate it as well. Is it recent? But you're saying this is recent, right? I mean,
Yeah, this year.
because we turned over the video evidence to Volusia and Seminole.
Yeah,
But I think the problem was that it occurred so much time had passed that there's a thing called statute of limitations that if you have evidence of a crime and it happened 5-6 years ago, unless it's a real serious crime, it can't be prosecuted. So if you have evidence where it occurred recently, okay, and there's somebody that can say that was Jeremy, then certainly somebody could follow up on it and investigate it. Absolutely. And of course, these would be things that these would be offenses that he committed while he was out on bond. So that may, you may want to contact the state attorney's office because it may be something that revokes his bond. I don't know about that. I can contact the state attorney's office Monday and I'll tell them about our conversation and tell them that you have videos of him doing this stuff as recently as January, and at least they'll be aware of it. As far as the Orange County Sheriff's Office, I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, I know you had a conversation with the undersheriff. Can you reach out to him and talk to him about it?
People keep saying that was so long ago. I mean, we just had like a conversation.
Right,
It
but
wasn't,
what I'm
like-
saying though is,
Yeah.
if there's somebody there that can get it investigated, it would be him. I mean, he's the number 2 guy in the entire agency.
Right.
If you said to him, I have this video evidence of him committing crimes, he might be able to get somebody to investigate. I mean, that would be something, you know.
As far as the stolen valor thing, you guys don't have any evidence of that, right?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube other than.
No,
stuff
I'm not
on-
even talking about a video,
Right.
I'm just saying in general.
No, I mean, I've seen videos of him running around dressed up in an army uniform, but I've seen, there's video of him on YouTube running around dressed up like a police officer. Yeah, I don't, you know,
Yeah, I contacted them today.
Through the-
It's called, I have their information. They called me back.
the military,
Yeah, it's like the
Mhm.
what is it called?
like the Inspector General office?
Yeah,
Okay.
And I gave them the information, they asked for his social and all that stuff, and, they were asking, I have to, I guess, send links or whatever, and then pictures, and then also, I have, like screenshots of things, like, things that he's gotten benefits for, but not benefits, but discounts for, like, for example, his phone service.
Okay.
Something simple like that. And it says he's a U.S. Army veteran, and he has like these little, discounts because of that. So I have to send that over to him. So I don't know if you've ever spoken.
So he's getting discounts from businesses based on his military service.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, I don't know whether that would constitute stolen valor or not. I mean, I could probably find out.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be looking into it. They want me to send them stuff
Okay.
via email, so that's what I'm doing.
Where did these things occur? I'm not sure with the phone company, I mean, obviously, that's probably just a recurring bill with Verizon or Sprint. or whatever.
Right.
Um, hmm. Do you have video of him like walking into a store doing this, where he's gotten like a discount on a meal, or is it just phone service? And what do you have? You say you have evidence. What do you have? Do you have a phone bill or something that says it on there? You say you have evidence.
Phone bill. I have to go back and look at everything
Right.
that we've
Okay.
done. That's what I do have.
Hang on a second.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, let me call you and I'll leave the station. I have your stuff, and when I leave here, I'll drop it off to you, okay? Okay, I'll just, perfect, I do that.
But yeah, so that's why I came here. I mean,
Okay.
I guess at this point, there isn't really a point in holding anything anymore. I met with, what do they call it, in Tallahassee, who they investigate fraud.
Are you talking about the people who are looking at the insurance fraud?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I have an interview next Thursday, with an investigator and then insurance.
Right, yeah, I believe, hold on a second,
It's Detective Mike Warner.
I think that they do that. Yeah, I believe he's the individual who's investigating the insurance frauds.
Right. So yeah, I have an interview with them.
Okay.
I'll take the interview, whatever, next week. When I spoke to him, he's fine. I mean, I don't have an issue with him. But when I spoke to him, I asked him why Orange County didn't try to investigate that as well, or if it's just like a Tallahassee thing.
Yeah, honestly, I really can't answer, why the things that happen in Orange County happen there. I mean, I'm right now, professional standards, they're doing an investigation into Biddler Ramsey, and so and I don't really have a lot of information about that. I just, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm aware that, you know, that Jeremy's been doing this sort of thing for a very long time, this fake police thing, and I mean, he's been pulling people over, and, I mean, I know since 2014, but I mean, the sheriff's office sent a letter as long ago as that, telling him he couldn't do it. And so, I think this has been a problem for a long time. And I think there are some people at the sheriff's office who are concerned about, you know, the safety of the public and the fact that he's sort of nutty and would hurt somebody, and you know, when they were trying to stop it, and you know, they were in trouble. So,
Yeah, I know.
so,
Yeah, I can send you the video. I mean, I don't know, they're so large. I mean, I guess I could send you Dropbox.
yeah, you can email me a link to anything that you want me to take a look at. If you send me a link, I'll take a look at it, and if it's something that, you know, that somebody might be able to use. And again, I mean, I won't investigate it because, you know, unless it occurred in Windermere, you know, I mean, my role is pretty much done because you know, I was, you know, I helped them with the timeline of the events of the traffic stop, and I provided that to the state attorney's office.
Yeah.
State attorney asked me to review some phone conversations. I kind of did, and other than that, the inquiry, the complaint that they started to Stefano was really my primary role. So, when was the last time you talked to Jeremy?
Can you tell the state that he called me?
Of course I can. Yeah.
When he was released.
Okay. Do you have evidence of that on your phone? I mean, is there? I mean, I mean, I can tell him he called you, but I think part of the issue there is going to be that I think the sheriff's office down in Osceola, I think, responded to a call at his house because you were at the house.
No, that was in the morning. That was when he was first released.
Right. Okay. Has he called you after that?
No, he texted me, but he just said stop. That's all he said.
Oh, it's not. Okay. All right. How much of this is his wife aware of? I mean, does his wife know any of this?
I mean, I'm not stupid, and he fooled me. And I'm not saying she's dumb, but I don't think she was.
Right. So she's unaware of the whole thing between the two of you.
And the baby and all that. No, I don't think she knows.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Wow. I know that that picture of you at their house that was on your Instagram, or not your Instagram, your Snapchat.
Yeah.
I know she's aware of that. I mean, I know she did see that.
Yeah, I mean, this all stemmed because
But she doesn't know, his wife is unaware of the pregnancy. His wife's unaware that, you know, these conversations between the two of you where he's trying to talk you into getting the abortion. And I assume she's unaware that that Jeremy told you that she'd had 2 abortions.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every bit of that was reported, and I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And you provided information to Link Court in the past, but none of these videos that you have are of him committing crimes in Osceola County? Are they all
I
over
have
the
to go
places?
back and look at all. I mean, we obviously do YouTube, or used to do the YouTube thing. And he would give me his helmet cam, and I would download it. So I have a lot of his stuff downloaded, and I have to go look at everything. So.
Okay. What's weird, I do have some questions that you might be able to help me with. So, when we arrested him,
When?
I'm talking about when did we arrest him? The first arrest back in September. When the thing that resulted in the complaint on the Sergeant DeStefano, one of the officers here did a search warrant on the body camera to get videos. And when they tried to download the video from the body camera, they only got videos off of a micro SD card.
Right.
There was no video on the camera itself. And it seemed as if it took some sort of proprietary software to download that video. We didn't have the software. So the officer contacted the camera manufacturer. Yeah, they were out of business. We couldn't get a hold of anybody there. And so then he tried to find the software online. He could not find the software.
Do you still have it?
We do. Yeah, we have the camera. It's here. And so ultimately, later he found this contour software. The officer did. And he found it like on one of the CD-net or one of those. He's a tech guy, and so he downloaded the software and then plugged the camera in the software. Right. Well, the camera. I mean, and the computer recognized the camera, but he could find no additional video because I think the thought was is that if he had video that occurred that day, it might be on the camera because there was no video at all on his camera that we could find from that day. All of the video that we took off the camera were from previous incidents, and none of it
That was all the micro.
on the card, right? But we've never gotten any video off the camera itself.
I don't think that's how he does it. I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is that every day, well, not every day, but once we're done, he will always. Okay, so when we're doing a video,
Would he delete
Yes.
video if he got pulled over by the police?
He would delete it if he was speeding or doing anything crazy. And so he said, "Well, I trust you, so I'm gonna
Okay.
give it to you." He said, "There's really bad stuff on here, so here, but you need it for the video, so
Right.
just take it." So I would take it home. I have like a little SD
Card
adapter,
thing, yeah,
right? And I put it in, and I download it to my laptop.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, the sheriff's office, when they did search warrants at his office, and they took video off of there.
354.
I had, right when this all started, I had an Orlando police officer call me and tell me that he thought that they were altering videos and then presenting them in traffic court as evidence and get tickets thrown out. He said that he had stopped Jeremy for speeding, and that when he walked up to the car, of course his lights were on, his lights were on, and that he wrote him a ticket, and that Jeremy showed up to court with Amir, and they had video, and the video showed him driving the speed limit, but it appeared that video had been altered, like maybe they'd gone back later, driven that same route, driving the speed limit, and then.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, are you aware of them ever doing that? I mean, and if so, who would have done that? Who would have?
He reenacts things, yeah.
What's that?
He will reenact something.
Okay.
Jeremy's not. I mean, he's not that he's stupid. He's not smart enough to like splice things. It probably would have been.
Well, it was the officer said the video spliced because you could not see the lights flashing. You know, the lights didn't start flashing until he was at the car door. Now, obviously, if this had been the real video, you would have seen the lights come on, and you would have seen the lights on as he's walking up. But you couldn't. Everything else you could see it in video, and so it looked like they'd taken the traffic stop, they'd gone back, redriven the route, driving the speed limit, and then just spliced that into the traffic stop.
He said Photo did his videos.
Okay.
So it was
And photo is
Victor.
Victor.
So
Okay.
Victor Lopez used to do his videos, and then it was Alec Ringwell,
Okay.
and then it was me. So
Would he have told Amir that the video was altered, or would
No.
Amir would have just simply
I
not?
was
Amir would have knowingly presented.
he would believe, he would believe Jeremy. I've
Okay.
seen Jeremy stand like against a wall and pretend to cry, real tears in there, and then as soon as he hangs up, he starts laughing.
1827.
Amir believes anything he says, so.
Why was? I mean, Amir doesn't seem like a stupid person. I mean, does he?
I think Amir wants to win.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean,
he wants to win
I think
this.
that's true of every attorney. I mean, attorneys don't go to court wanting to lose. They
Yeah, but this is
want
like
to win.
this is a big moment for him. If he gets Jeremy off, or gets Jeremy a little deal or something, then.
Listen, in the grand scheme of things, this is not a big deal. I mean, Jeremy's just some guy riding around, dressed up like the police, playing cop. I mean, at some point, if he continues, something bad will happen. He'll hurt somebody or kill somebody. Something bad will happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, certainly not the crime of the century.
No. Not yet.
Yeah, and so, listen, the other thing, we photographs off of his phone, but the sheriff's office did.
Which one? The 2019?
I don't know, the older phone and a search warrant. And there were photographs on that phone that I'm curious about. There's a photograph of him standing, wearing a SWAT uniform. And it says SWAT on it, he's standing there holding an AR-15. Have you ever seen that AR-15? Have you ever seen one with a rifle?
Is it real?
I don't know, that's what I'm
I
asking.
have seen one, but I don't know if it's real.
Okay, you've seen him with an AR-15,
Yeah,
but you
but I
just
don't
don't
know
know
if it's
whether it's
Yeah.
one of the BB gun things he carries or it's a real gun.
So when people ask, does he have guns? I mean, now I say, well, no, he doesn't have real handguns. But I've seen what you're talking about. I believe it's not. I don't believe it's real. I don't know. I don't believe it's real. I don't know.
Well, some of the guns that he carried, I mean, it's weird because if you go back and you look at some of the guns that he's carried in his holster in his uniform, some of them, even at a distance, you could tell that they're those little pepper ball things because they got a little, there's like a, the magazine's different than a real handgun magazine, but I know the last time he was arrested, the magazine didn't have it on the side. I mean, at a distance, in a holster, it would look just like mine.
Right.
Glock. I mean,
Oh, yes,
right.
yeah. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and so I'm just curious, and obviously when they stopped him, they took it out and realized it was a
Right.
BB, a pepper ball gun or a BB gun or what the hell it is. But that rifle, I mean, when you look at the photograph, you can't really tell because you can't see enough of it. But it looks like an AR-15.
Right.
And obviously he's a convicted felon. He's not, and he's not supposed to have a gun, but the guy that's got those sorts of issues going on in that head, you worry about him hurting somebody or doing something crazy. That's why I'm asking, where is that gun usually kept? That rifle?
It's in his fake army bag, like the big duffel
Right.
bags they have, and that's in his closet. In
Okay.
his office.
Okay. What about at his house? Does he have guns at his house that you're aware of? How many times have you been inside his house?
Which one?
Where he lives?
The newest one. I don't know. Over 20?
Over 20? Okay. And I'm asking that because at some point, if the police do have to go there, it'll be important for them to know if the guy's got if this guy's got an arsenal in there, they need to know that before they go up to the door that he's got, rifles and that kind of shit because it's, it's a safety issue for them. So have you
He
ever?
has a lot of knives. I have his knives. I don't know what. I mean, there's a lot of stuff of his I have. I just throw away, but he has a lot of knives.
Right. Okay. Rifles, though, have you seen any other rifles in the house? You said you've seen the one with that AR-15. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Have you seen any other rifles? Any other guns, long guns?
Would that look like guns or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you know the difference between a real AR-15 and a
No, not that.
fake one?
I wouldn't
Okay.
know.
Have you seen any other rifles? You know what a rifle is, correct?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. So have you seen any other rifles at the house?
I don't know if they were just like the pepper balls, but yeah, he has a lot. Yeah, he has.
Okay, so he has several, but you don't know whether those are pepper ball guns or they're rifles, or do you know?
I haven't. I mean, I didn't look at it. I didn't check
Okay.
it, so I don't.
All right. Well, how many of those long guns? When I say long guns, I'm talking about anything.
Not a
that looks like-
shotgun.
Okay.
But just like what you have. No?
Well, no. Do you know? This is a handgun.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm talking about
like a shotgun.
Something this size.
yes.
Oh! Oh, wow.
Have you seen anything that looks that way?
No, just the one that you were talking about.
Just the one rifle.
Yeah,
If
it
I
looks
show
like,
you
it looks
that-
like a, okay, go ahead, yeah.
If I show you that picture, okay, would that help?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I thought a shotgun was a rifle.
Well, a shotgun and a rifle the same size.
Okay.
This is a handgun. One hand you can use a rifle and shotgun. You use two hands.
Okay.
It's called a long gun because it's like this size.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Carry this.
Okay.
That's called a long gun.
I've only shot like once in my life, obviously.
Did you?
Once.
When?
On a date.
Oh yeah. Crazy date.
No.
I know that doesn't matter. My whole, everything about me is online. So this sorry, what am I doing?
Is that, have you ever seen that gun?
I've seen this picture.
But what I'm asking you, do you know if that gun is a real gun or is that gun a BB gun?
It looks,
Have you ever seen that gun?
yes,
Okay.
that, it looks real when it's all put together. I've seen it
Right.
apart in pieces.
Okay, so you've never seen it like this?
Together, no.
Because when he breaks it apart, when he puts it in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So at this point, you don't know. Do you know if he has any, does he only have one of these or does he have multiple?
He has more than one of those. Why? I've never, yeah, like I said, I've never seen it like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you can see this, if you look, it says SWAT. I mean, you can see SWAT across there.
I've seen that vest.
Right, yeah, and these are
Yeah.
magazine, that's where you would store.
Do you know where that was taken?
I have no idea. We took it off of his, this was on his phone with other photographs. When the sheriff's office took the phone, they did search warrants on the phone and that became.
Oh, okay, well, there we go.
There are a lot of pictures in there and so, but if that gun is a real gun, I need to make sure that the officers who will come in contact with him going forward are aware of that. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Okay, so who's going to meet him?
I don't know, but
Okay.
he lives in Osceola County. If they responded to his house a while back because his wife's head was bleeding, and the neighbor said that he beat her up. And
He threw a phone at her head.
okay, why did he throw a phone at her head?
Because she accused him of cheating.
Okay, so he threw a phone at her head.
Yeah.
How often does he? I mean, how often does he have these violent outburst type things?
He's okay for like a few weeks, and then
Yeah.
he just snaps and he just. You know how they say 0 to 60? It's literally that. Like, you're just standing there and he'll all of a sudden just like throw stuff across the room and then he's like coming at you. That's just like, it's very quick. You don't have time to react.
He loses his temper very quickly and comes to that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, you have my email address.
Yes.
And you send me whatever you and I'll as I have time, I'll look through it, and if it's something that and if you can at least put where it came from and where you think it is, that way that'll help me get to the right, the right agencies.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, if you're concerned the sheriff's office won't investigate it, there's always the highway patrol. I know that at one point I think they had some interest in his.
Well, I mean, he lied. I mean, again, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean.
You can use that.
Oh, there's I didn't even know.
It's all right.
I don't know if I should say. They said I'm okay. Like when I talked to the investigator, they said it's okay, but then he's not a cop like you, so. Jeremy created the whole scene, the whole accident. And he was telling me, like, right after he did it, that he was creating the whole scene, and he was doing it for insurance, and he was saying that I'm like a baby, because I've never been in a car accident, I've never been injured, and he was saying, oh, you're gonna get like $30,000, I'm gonna get like 10, 15, and he had like this whole thing that he was trying to do, and he was lying to the trooper, so.
So they staged that.
He staged that.
Okay, he staged that.
Yeah.
You know if he's done that in the past? Because I know they're suing.
So.
I know that they're involved in a lawsuit with that guy in Winter Park. That the brother Dylan.
Heenan? Oh, Jerome Heenan, the rich
the
guy.
guy that they were beating. That were his brother got in front of the car and was
Dylan,
stopping
yeah.
and beating on the car and all that shit.
Yeah.
They're suing that guy, right?
And then
This
he's
is something
counter-suing.
different.
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
you're talking. This thing you're talking about something different from that, right?
That guy that he hit, he does have an attorney now. And I guess Florida Department of
The
whatever,
insurance,
right,
yeah.
they're gonna interview, like I said, I met with them today, and they said they're gonna interview him, and start, they couldn't really do a lot because of COVID.
Are they staging these accidents because they're having financial problems, and it's just, they need
No,
money?
it's financial problems, and I met with, Detective Warner, in January when Jeremy was in North Carolina, and lying and saying he wasn't. And I met with him because Jeremy told me to up the insurance that we had, or had, because we had commercial insurance. And so.
I thought part of the issue was that he had registered those as private vehicles, and
That's his wife's issue. She lied for him.
lied
She
to
worked for
the
him.
insurance company,
Mhm.
saying that that those, I mean, I don't know how an insurance company could think that
All those vehicles are.
they look like police cars. They look like police cars, and police motorcycles. You register something that looks like
Well, Warner said that that he was on the application and on the recorded calls because he has all the recorded calls for the
Right.
insurance, and Jeremy was saying there was no markings on it, there's nothing, there was no.
So he
lights.
lied to the insurance company about it being painted up like police cars.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure that they didn't know that he was driving like a maniac, running people off the road. And,
No. So Jeremy asked me to up the commercial, general, whatever, liability because he was like, he said, if things don't go better in this case, we're gonna have a robbery. I'm like, of course, so it sounds stupid because it sounds like I'm.
Oh, so he wanted you to have insurance so they could
Yeah.
fake a robbery and then
Right.
say we were
And
robbed.
then in April, we had a vandalism. I wasn't there, Jeremy got there before I did, and when I got there, he was cleaning everything up, which was really weird to me. The only thing that was wrong was the slash tires and a little bit of real paint. Nothing was like, no windows are broken, nothing was keyed. You would think somebody would do all those
Right.
things, but it was just very
Yeah,
minor.
that is kind of odd. And this was right after he had taken out insurance?
Yeah, so we got
Okay.
the insurance, in the beginning of January, and then he wanted me to up it, and then I never did, I forgot to, and then it happened in April, and then
Right.
that's when he was arrested the same day.
Hmm.
They're also investigating him for an arson at an old, office, because he never called the fire department. And they said they've never seen, a fire break out where someone doesn't call the fire department.
Do they know how the fire started?
Well, I gave them pictures of the pictures, he took of the fire, and they're supposed to be investigating that too. The arson, like Tallahassee's
Right.
arson,
And did he collect insurance on that?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Huh. Wow. It's,
Yeah.
it's sort of complicated. I've never met anybody quite like him. I've been doing this for a pretty long time. Do you know why he tells people he was in the military? Has he ever told you, I do this because? Or?
15154, confirming your 51622.
I think he just wanted to be a police officer, and I think he has an idea what he wants. So he wanted to have the police career, and then, be in the military somewhat, and then he wanted to have like an Arab wife. So he has an idea
Middle 14,
of
my
what
husband
he
keeps looking out
wants.
the window. They don't
And
see anything
I
at
don't
this
know,
time.
because he's not crazy and
They were unable to know what they were saying.
So I don't know if
Right.
it's like, it's not, I don't think he's sick as far as like, having a real mental illness. I just
Right.
think he's a narcissist or something. He
Okay.
doesn't want to be normal and average.
Right. Yeah, because he's telling people he was in special forces and he was a ranger.
That's what I
and all
told
that,
the
and,
IG
I'm
guys.
not sure why he would tell make up stuff like that.
No.
Him and that other guy, there was another guy that was working for him for a while who was telling people he was in
Who?
special
Who's
forces.
that?
That Chance guy was around telling everybody he was.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
He wasn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
He
didn't
wasn't in
know
special
that.
forces. He did work for the Air Marshal Service, but he was not in special forces.
Wow.
And so you have these two guys running around telling everybody they're heroes, and it's just simply not true. Do you know how you met Chance, this Air Marshal?
I think it was during a charity.
Charity ride? Because a lot of what I've seen videos, it doesn't look like they're doing funerals, they were doing these charity things, like that Corvette show on Interstate 95.
He used to do you know Michael Breen, the ambulance guy that gave him the money for the ambulance, the
Is it-
attorney?
I know who he is, and I only know who he is because of this case.
Correct. He used to do a lot of charity runs for Michael. Like Michael had like a motorcycle club, so
Okay.
that's how they all.
And so Michael gave him the money for the ambulances?
Mhm.
How much did those ambulances cost?
I think he gave him like 10,000 each. I think he has like
Okay.
3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
I obviously Mike repoed, I think a couple of them, and then Randall Roches has one left.
Well, so he still has one of the ambulances? Well, I mean, what was he gonna do with the ambulances? I know that he did some fake deal with the wrestlers, or they they pretended like the wrestler was hurt and like took him out in a stretcher, and
I don't know.
I mean, was he going to try to be, I mean, I get the fake police cars and the fake police motorcycles and going out and, fake pulling people over, but I mean, did he intend to like go show up and take people to the hospital?
Yeah, but he's, be a sex offender and a felon. He couldn't do it. That's why he had, that girl there, and that's why he had other people to kind of. He was just the backing for it, and he was just going to use their faces to make the money. So.
But how would you make money with an ambulance? I don't get the
He
scam.
wanted
What's
to.
the?
He just wanted, how like some people need to be transported to a hospital from their home or something like that, or they are going to a doctor's office or appointment. That's what he was trying to do.
But I mean, you
I
have to
get
have
it.
trained paramedics or.
I understand. Well, a couple of them, Star Eucalon or whatever, she was a paramedic. She was in school.
So we're just in a parking, we had a 911 hang up from the business
A lot
line
of
in
them
South
have like a
Central.
little bit.
I think there are a lot of
Health security.
rules
I
to
know.
driving ambulances.
I know.
Taking care of people.
I'm not saying it's a
Medical.
bad idea.
I mean, I
I
think
told
you
him
have
it was
to
a dumb
be.
idea. I told
You
him
really
it was
have to
dumb.
have some training, and there's some licensure issues. These paramedics that drive these rescue trucks for the fire department and these ambulances. I mean, they all answer to a medical director.
I
There's
know.
a doctor over all these people.
I know.
And so you can't just get an ambulance and run around and wrap a stethoscope around your neck and start transporting hurt people and sick people. It doesn't work like
I
that.
told him it was stupid, but he took it anyway. And he put all his money into
Here, Virginia.
wrapping the ambulances
Right.
and putting all these nice lights and stuff. He spent so much
We're not
money in it.
requesting a
Um,
figure to
Mike just went and took the ambulances, and then Jeremy got mad at me because he thought I had something to do with it. I said, I didn't know anything about it.
So he came because
repoed.
he repoed the ambulances. Okay, well, and how many ambulances did he repo?
2.
47.
So that's right. So he still has one left. And you said, who has that one?
Randall.
Randall.
Roches.
Did Randall still work for him?
Mhm.
So Randall just kept the ambulance?
They were supposed to be, because Randall lives in Lake County, so he has like a lot of land or something
Mhm.
out there, and they're just kind of like,
Are they just hiding the ambulance or something? Hiding it from this Michael Breen guy? And what about all the other, where are the police cars and the police motorcycles?
well, the tow truck and the Tahoe was repoed like 3 days ago.
Who repoed them?
Tony Constantini.
I thought he owned those outright. I remember you said that on YouTube, that he owned them outright.
Yeah,
Does he-
stupid.
So he doesn't own, does he own the others outright, or are there loans on
I
them?
don't,
or-
Jeremy's a liar. I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah.
I actually met Tony today, and we
Okay.
talked, and because I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my car, like what I'm doing, because me and Jeremy aren't talking and
Right.
all this other stuff, and he has to divest everything. Like I think the judge says he has to get rid of everything in
Right.
your state. So I asked Tony, I said, what do you want me to do? Because is your name on the title for this car too? And he said that his name is on the title for all the cars. So it's his name and Jeremy's name, is what he's saying, on all the vehicles. He's going around trying to repo everything right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a mess. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I was at the bond hearings because they wanted me to testify about
Mhm.
the phone call, and then
Yeah.
I never testified, they never put me to stand, but, I mean, and I know that, the last I knew, that the judge had revoked the bond, and that was kind of that.
That was
And
it,
then later, I heard from the state attorney that they worked out some sort of plea deal where he was gonna get rid of this stuff. I'm really not sure how that all. And so, but you're saying that Jeremy doesn't own the stuff outright, that this Tony guy,
His name's on the title.
he owns, he's a part owner of this too, so, I mean, I don't know how he's gonna get rid of it if this guy Tony also is a part owner. I mean,
Right.
I don't,
He also said the motorcycles, he has the titles for the motorcycles too, is what he told me. I'm like, oh my god, he's looking for everything. So I just gave him some addresses and I'm like.
he's just trying to get rid of it so that he can, I mean, is
He
Jeremy
wants-
trying to get rid of it so he can pay a mirror, or what's the,
He's getting rid of it, yeah, he needs money. Jeremy
Okay.
is broke.
okay.
I mean, I probably have more money than Jeremy does. He's broke. Yeah.
I mean, did you think when he was telling you that he was gonna do this in vitro, you know how expensive that is?
Yeah,
It's expensive, I mean, that's several $1,000s, it costs a lot of money.
He keeps saying that he's gonna get money from IA, like he's gonna get 100,000 from IA.
No, yeah, I heard him tell you that. I think he told you that you know, when he was telling you. I mean, I listened to y'all talk about the internal affairs, say this. I mean, I heard the whole thing. I think at one point he told you that y'all were going to get 100 or it was between $100,000 and $200,000.
That's what he said. Like he's.
Right. Yes.
that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. He was telling you that it was. I don't know how he did. I guess he spoke to Natalie Jackson about this, and she told him that's what it was worth. Or
He talked to her a while back, and then he talked to her recently, but
Right.
she had just started. Amir told him not to talk to anyone or any other attorneys unless they're like talking together. So
I got you.
I don't know if she ever reached
boy,
out
that
to
would have been she sues the police a lot, so
I know.
it'd be kind of interesting to see her suing the real police on behalf of the fake police. That would be quite a story, I guess.
Yeah.
So okay, all right.
Yeah, so he's not at 102 Drennan anymore. They cleaned that place out. They just like ran,
Right.
and so that's another landlord that's not gonna get 2 months
Rent.
rent. So. Yep.
All right. Well, trying to think if there's anything else.
10-4.
So what else can you think of?
Yeah. No, I mean, again, my role in this has been to, I was called in to investigate Mark DiStefano's misconduct.
Did you ever think it would like become this big?
No. I mean, look, it is what it is. I mean, as I got involved in, I learned more and learned some of the, some of the history and all that. I mean, I got the video from the Tampa Police Department and them over there telling me that going off on those officers over there. But I know my GS level, and you know your GS level, and that whole thing. I served. I was a major in the U.S. Army, and then I got the video from Chicago where he's flinging the chairs off of the balcony of the record driver and telling. It seemed like he had them convinced he was a police officer in Orlando.
He was very upset with me because of the things I said, like when we weren't together. But those are things that he said. I mean,
like what kind
the
of things?
Oviedo police thing is that who makes that up? Who out of all the police departments, who just says, "Oh, I'm going to choose Oviedo"? I mean, he said that because he asked me, "Well, where are you from? Like, where did you grow up?" And I said, "I grew up in Oviedo." And he said, "Oh, I used to be an Oviedo police officer. When were you?" And so that's kind of how we.
When y'all first met.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I was an Army Ranger and a Special Forces, and then I was a Oviedo Police, and okay. Well. All right. Well. All right. Well, you have my email address, and
I do.
anything if you come run across something you think I need to know.
Do you think the
something?
state attorney will actually care that he called me? I feel like he hates me.
I don't listen. And I think you're looking at this all wrong. I don't think anybody hates you, and I don't think.
Really?
Right. Why would they hate you? They really.
I don't
They
know.
barely know you. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if there's an issue for them, it won't be an issue of like or dislike. It will be whether they believe you or not.
Sure.
I mean, that's going to be the issue. If you give them this information and they believe it, and there's something to corroborate that, then probably matter. If they don't believe you and there's not something to corroborate what you're telling them, because you have to remember, okay, you kind of told us one thing and another, and so that makes it harder. I mean, I've had people come to me and tell me things, and so you move forward in an investigation, and if the person has given conflicting testimony in the past, it's difficult to convince a judge, like getting a warrant. Okay, if I go to the judge and say, I want to get a search warrant, and I'm basing my probable cause to get the search warrant based on what this person said. I can't, I have an obligation to tell the judge if that person has lied and said other things in the past, or said, and so, but that doesn't mean that I can't get the warrant. What that means is that I would probably need to show the judge that I can verify what this person said by some independent method. So if you say, he called me at this time, and this time is after the judge said not to, and you can provide some physical evidence that, you know, on your phone, then it may matter, because it's not just you saying it. There's an actual record of it. There's a phone record of that. Right. So yeah, that might I don't know. I mean, and I don't really know what. I think what's going on now in the state attorney's office and the mayor are probably talking back and forth about some sort of some sort of arrangement. Obviously, you know, if they're getting rid of if he's getting rid of the stuff because the state attorney's asked or demanded he do that, there's probably some sort of something in the works in terms of the deal. I don't know. So, I get a subpoena, I show up. That's essentially what I do. I mean, if he is a report that he commits a crime in Windermere, I investigate it. If information comes in that he's committed a crime in Sanford, I contact the Sanford police and I turn the information over.
What happened to, I saw, because Michael Green let me see all the emails and stuff. What happened to this, you guys thought he did a burglary or something?
Of course I've heard of that. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know it was suspected of a burglary. I mean, where did you see these emails?
I went to his office.
So how did Green get an email of him? I don't get the...
It was in someone's emails. I could have sworn it was, maybe it wasn't you. But he wanted all of Hitler's emails from 2017.
Who wanted all of Hitler's emails?
Green.
Okay, how did he must have made a public records request.
Yeah,
Number reference, so you call Health Central when you talk to security.
Right. Yeah, I know there have been several. I mean,
Did you want to get it in around or close it out?
That a lot of people made, but we got a public records request. I got 3 or 4 from you. We got one from either.
Didn't Victor do one? No, Victor Lopez photo? I thought he did one.
He may have. I don't keep track of that.
Yeah.
I know we got some from. I know we got one from one of the TV stations, either Channel 35 or Channel 2. One of them made one, and then the only one I ever got was that YouTube guy. He made a public request, and we only gave him what we had. We didn't give him the sheriff's office. The only thing that YouTube guy ever got from us was the information from our search warrant, the videos that we got from his camera, the video from our body cameras. Now we had more because we got that from the sheriff's office, but we told that guy you have to go there to get that. And I told him if because they wouldn't give it to him, I guess. I think at one point he called back and said that they would not give it to him, so told him to contact the state attorney's office. Florida's got very little public records laws. If we get these requests, I mean, we can say no, if it's exempt. In other words, we can say no if it's related to an ongoing investigation and we think it will hinder that. We can say no. Like anything we can hold back. For example, if we have a document that would identify a rape victim or a child abuse victim, we can redact information out of that so that it would not identify that person. But we can't just say no because it would embarrass us. We can't do that. I mean, that's against the law. And so.
Can I make a police report against him for recording me?
You'd have to go to the proper agency, but I think that's, yeah.
I mean, what is the statute of limitation on that? It's not a felony?
It is a felony. It's probably 2 or 3 years. I know he's recorded you several times, because a lot of the stuff where he's recorded you is on the internet, is on YouTube where he's recorded you, and, I mean, he recorded the state attorney's office, he recorded the FBI, I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know, where did that recording take place?
I think they're all in Orange County, right?
Okay. When did it occur?
2018, 2019, or mostly 2019.
Yeah, well, it might still be, and you're unaware that you're being recorded?
Obviously.
Yeah, that would be a crime. That would be a crime. So, you know, if it happened in the city, you could call the PD, if it happened in the county, call the sheriff's office. They can't refuse to take a report. They'd have to take a report. You know, I don't know what they would do in terms of follow-up on it. The whole relationship with Jeremy and people at sheriff's office, I don't know. I really don't know what the deal is there. I can't say. So.
I mean, I don't think they're friends, but I get what you're saying, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of things said, and who knows what is true and what isn't. So, our role, we arrested him for the one case, and they filed a complaint on he filed a complaint on the officers, and I followed up with a complaint. We cooperated with other agencies and provided information, and they've cooperated with us. I mean, but that's not because we're picking on Jeremy. We do that, and we do that all the time.
What power does Florida Highway Patrol have? They don't have any power to arrest.
Yeah, sure they do. Absolutely. And they would work. They would certainly work cases, like that. I mean, the impersonating cases, or if he's out there on the highway pulling people over, they would look into that. I would imagine. So, I mean, I can call there and ask. I can certainly find out. But just shoot me a link, and we'll go from there. Okay.
All right, so that concludes these guys' interview with Jennifer. As you see, they refuse to have anyone left alone with her for any period of time because they know that if someone is left alone with her, she's likely to bite them and inject them with some sort of poison. So everything's recorded, 2-man operation with Jennifer at all times. That's her motto. Thanks for watching this. Keep this interview in mind whenever you hear Jennifer and Jeremy talking on the phone because, she accused him of a lot of stuff here and that she claims she loves him. So it's very weird. Thanks for watching The Jeremy Dewitte Show. And as always, make sure you have yourself a great day.